Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jennifer from Sun Dragon Paper and Lace, and today I wanted to try to do a snippet roll from a masterboard. So I have these little items. This is like a Christmas decor, one of these, garland things. I think the most of them, I've used most of it up already on other project, but I've got these spools to wrap the snippet roll in, and these spools, by the way, are from you can find these by the lot on eBay. I'm sure you can find them anywhere else too, like Etsy, but I just so happened to find these. I got a lot of I think it was a lot of 8 for a very reasonable price. And this I found just in a estate sale. Here's my lace tray. And I made this masterboard. And what I usually do when I make masterboards, I just glue a base. I just make a base. I don't ever decorate it yet until after I cut it, because I never know exactly what I'm going to do the masterboard for. If I'm going to do tags or journaling cards or anything like that, I like to leave it just plain and basic. And then I thought, I've been on a snippet roll lately, and I thought, well, why not take a masterboard and just cut it like I was to do a snippet roll. And I just had this masterboard is backed onto a map. It's one of those big atlas books. And I tea-dyed it and glued these on. The downside is, if I thought about this earlier, I wasn't planning on making a snippet roll out of this. I would have put the papers, my collage, horizontally. Is that right? Horizontally? Up and down is vertically. I'm all mixed up. So up and down is vertical, then across is horizontal. So if I would have put my papers vertically, and then I cut this way, it would have made my snippet roll a little bit longer, easier. But now, because if I cut my snippet roll across this way, horizontal, I wouldn't get much dimension of these different papers. It would be very plain, I would think, if I cut this way on this masterboard. The next masterboard, I'm going to know better. But so this masterboard, I'm going to cut vertically and then attach the pieces to make a long snippet roll. Hopefully I'm making sense. But I figured, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. Thank you, first off, new subscribers. I really appreciate you coming in and watching and joining us. Thank you, those of you that have been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you sticking around. Please like, comment, share, and yeah, I just am having a lot of fun. Not very many crafters over here in my area, at least not what I do. I'm sure there might be, but we haven't found each other. So with that regard, I really love doing this, and I'm really happy that there are those of you that are joining and watching and crafting along with me. So what I want to do is I want to make the snippet roll about the size to where I have room to roll it. And the thing that I want to not, it looks like it's 1 3/4 inches, but I want to make it 1 inch and maybe 1 inch and a quarter, because then it'll give me some room to have some overhang in my decor when I decorate. So I'm just gonna go in and just mark everything at that 1.25 inches so that I know where to cut. So how's everyone doing? Hopefully everybody is having a great Sunday. I, for one, had a nice and relaxing weekend. I'm just gonna start there. We didn't do much this weekend. We did go to an estate sale, my husband and I, and I found a new, so my decor, my craft decor is, I love a lot of vintage items, but I also like to intertwine it with vintage, so vintage wood and vintage metal. And I love that industrial, grungy vintage vibe. And so my husband and I found these, hopefully that's straight, that doesn't look straight. My husband and I found these wonderful metal drawers. They're really shabby and grungy and a little bit rusty, and so yesterday we cleaned them up. He has a set for his either, I don't know if he's going to, my husband does magic, he's a magician, and so his room is full of old vintage magic items and paraphernalia, and he's hoping that he can use that his metal drawers for his magic stuff. And I am happy to have a set for myself for crafting in here, for my crafting. So needless to say, yesterday I had to do some rearranging. I have these vintage boxes, like milk crates, but they're really not milk crates. They're like wooden, they're different things. They're wooden, I want to say maybe, like, oh gosh, I can't even explain it. Ammo boxes made of wood, very, very heavy. And I had them displayed on top of my desk here. My desk is a roll top desk, vintage roll top desk. And I had those boxes on display with my supplies, like my pens and my scissors, you know, things that are easy to reach. But since I bought that, we got that metal drawers, metal containers, it's now I had to figure out where exactly I was gonna put the metal containers in, and I just didn't have room for everything, unfortunately. So the plan is to just store my boxes until I can get my she shed. My husband promised me he was going to make me a she shed, and he is not a breaker of promises. You hear that, honey? You're not a breaker of promises. And I know that he's going to make one for me. And as soon as, I'm so excited, as soon as I get one built, I am going to decorate it vintage, industrial, shabby, whatever. So far, I haven't gotten tired of it. I've gone through so many different styles as far as my home decor, and I just can't get away from the vintage look. Vintage, and well, our house is very eclectic, and between my husband's magic, we have old vintage posters hanging around with magic paraphernalia or magic subject matter, old magic posters from, you know, the 20s and 30s, and all nicely framed. And but that is just, you know, that's been our style since, you know what, we've been married now for 23 years. Yeah, it's been 23 years. So, and we're still going strong. I'm liking how this looks. What do you think?
Oh, hopefully I'm not, I haven't been out of camera. I am so sorry if I am.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the theme that we go for. And when we go shop or look for things on at estate sales, we get a lot of that. That's a little crooked, but that's okay. We'll just roll with it. Oh, darn it. My paper cutter needs a new blade, I think. But that's okay. I'll just roll with it. Just gonna roll with it. And this is a little bit wide. Again, that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. And I don't know if this is there. But I came up with this idea for to do a snippet roll from a masterboard, because I thought, you know, we do a lot of masterboards, we do a lot of tags and stuff with it, and then we do another process for snippet rolls. Well, why not just use the snippet masterboard for just about everything? I mean, a snippet roll is the same concept of a masterboard, only, you know, we're doing it on a long piece of paper. Well, why not cut a masterboard into strips and put them together and do that? I don't know. I don't know why. I'm sure somebody has thought of that. I just haven't come across a video yet. But I'm sure it is out there. Okay, so what to lengthen? How do I attach this? I think I'm going to glue it. Use a good glue, which is Fabrifix. Anyway, these estate sales that we go to, we only went to one yesterday, simply because well, we just kind of need to slow down because we've got a couple trips coming up. I have my sister coming over to visit, which, by the way, hi sister, if you're watching, hello, miss you. She is coming over to visit. She'll be here for a week. And she and I love to go thrifting and estate sale shopping.
Am I in frame?
Gosh, that's the hardest thing, is knowing whether or not we're in frame, or we're staying in frame. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna do around here in Oregon, we're gonna travel to different towns and do some thrifting. And yeah, it's going to be lots and lots of fun. I can't wait. So I think this one is long enough. And then it should wrap around here really, really easily. And then have enough room for me to decorate it. See, there's gotta be careful that the glue is, so I use a stick glue, and I use this stick glue, which is really supposed to be, I mean, it grabs and catches really well, but I haven't tested the longevity of it, how well it lasts. Does that make sense? Because there are glues that seem to work and bond really quickly, but then when they dry, they don't stay. So it seems to be the case with that glue, which is unfortunate because it really does stick very well once you apply it, but it's looking like when it dries, it doesn't stay on. Okay. So I haven't decided, am I gonna do a combination of papers? Am I gonna do lace? I don't know yet, but I thought maybe I would incorporate this somehow. And this has that wire, and I'm not a fan of that, especially in, so let me see if, this is all experimental, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just experimenting. So maybe the wire can be used to my advantage by doing this. Maybe twisting it, and that's kind of cool. I can twist the paper. I kind of like that. Okay. I can have this stay. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like how that looks. Maybe up a little edge there. So what is everybody working on today, if anything? Any plans? Any big trips? Usually around here, people in Oregon like to escape the cold weather once it starts coming on, and they start making plans for February. And my husband and I usually go to Mexico around February time. I think right now the fall weather is just gorgeous. Wearing my sweater in the morning, but by afternoon it's just perfect. It's like 70s, which is perfect weather for me. Oh, that looks pretty. I like that. I like this. Okay. And I don't know, it's just perfect weather for me. If the weather can be like this all the time, I would be so happy. But unfortunately, we need rain, we need, you know, all of that. But, you know, all that stuff so that, you know, we can have our vegetables and vegetation, and birds and animals can eat, and yada yada yada, all that stuff. Hopefully that was in camera. I'll have to look back. If none of this is in camera, I'm gonna have to just redo. That's just all there is to it. Okay, what else? I think I'm gonna add some, I've got a scrap bin. Look at my scrap bin. Does anybody have like a scrap bin like this? Although, you know, I see some makers, though, their videos, they would separate like their little things, and then their big things like this, and everything is separated. I haven't. I have tried that at one time, but I think it becomes too tedious, and then, but I think I probably should, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on what I'm looking for, how I want to do it, what colors. I'm not sure. And then I have little scraps, my tiny scraps for things, for little projects, because they're little pretty pieces that I didn't want to throw away, because I keep thinking, like, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use all these tiny little special pieces, because you really never know. And how I end up with these tiny pieces, I have no idea. Don't know. I don't know. I just know that when I'm doing a project and I end up with a tiny piece, you know, I put it in that little box there. That little box. But see, and I like how the base, the background looks, how it turned out. I really love that. I love how that turned out. So I think I'm going to continue doing a master board and making snippet rolls out of the master board. I think that is just a good idea, for me anyway. Instead of starting with a plain base, I'm going to start with a masterboard base. And then that way, when I do cut a piece, I can embellish it later on. This is already, to me, this is already embellished, because it's got something chunky on it. But should I add lace too? Make a combo? Yeah. In fact, I like the idea of lace because you can see through it. You can see the background through it. that. Oh, okay. Let's go. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, I like that idea. Am I going to go back and sew? I think I am. I think I will. Which means I don't need to use this glue because this glue is like permanent and strong. I think I'll just use a stick glue so that it'll dry fast, and it's a dry glue, or drier glue anyway. Okay. So there's that. And I'm not gonna worry about these blank spots here because, well, it's a snippet roll. You're gonna just cut a piece of it and then embellish it anyway. So I'm just saying that for my benefit, really. Just to let myself know that I don't need to decorate as much or worry about a blank spot. You know, I kind of like it with the lace, I have to say. I like it better with the lace, to have the background like this and then have the lace over it. I like that. This is lace from Esme. Esme Crafty Me Shop. If you haven't checked her out, looked at her shop, you gotta go check her out. Facebook, she'll be on my description. She has, that lady, I tell you, she works hard. She works hard. And yeah, but I love a lot of her laces, and I'm kind of addicted, I have to say. I've got an abundance of her lace, and I think my husband is gonna kill me if he knows how much I spend. Let's see. I kind of like the words right there. I want to leave that blank. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, if this is taking too long. So I think what I'm gonna do is just decorate like one, or add to just like one side and maybe overlap, because like I said, I'm gonna embellish it anyway when I cut things apart, when I cut pieces. Okay, this is not working out. I might have trouble sewing over that. I'm gonna have to finagle how to figure out a way. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Don't want to use you just yet. these laces, these little things here too, I got from 1924 Linens and More on Etsy. I will link her shop into my description. I don't know if I've been doing that, but I must do that. She's got these great little things like this, pieces, also for a reasonable price. I'm all about reasonable prices. And yeah, I don't know if she's cringing right now while I'm doing this, ripping up these laces, which a lot of people do, you know, but it's part of the craft, part of our artwork. It's what we do. And vintage lace is, you know, just works so well. And it makes everything just so shabby and beautiful. So I'm so happy that I found those places. Esme has a lot of new lace and also vintage lace. And if you catch it pretty good, I mean, if you're on there or keep an eye out quite often, she will also have a vintage line a special that she throws every once in a while, which is always a lot of fun. Then I get really in big trouble. Oh, I like that side. Okay, let's do that. All right. I don't know why I've been into snippet rolls lately. I think you just kind of get into this thing where like right now, I'm in between journals. I don't know what type of a journal to make yet. I do have a digital shop that I do want to promote, only because I buy a lot of digitals from her. I think maybe my next video will definitely be her shop. I'll be doing some stuff on her shop, doing a digital, what do you call it? Oh my goodness, my brain. I might as well, you know, sometimes I wonder, back in the early 1900s, or no, 1900s, was it maybe the 20s, maybe the 30s even, women kind of went, they put them in what do you call it, a solarium or sanitarium. Makes me wonder if that back then they thought women were crazy. They'd put them in a sanitarium. Makes me wonder if how many of them were really just going through menopause, or postmenopause. You never know. Could have been, you know, because they've learned so much these days in comparison. I want this to be a little more chunky. See, I forgot what I was going to say. Forgot what I was saying. Just totally left my mind. So, anyway. This is some old lace here. It kind of makes me sad that all this work that people have put into on these laces is just, they've just been forgotten. So it's actually a good thing, even though I'm tearing it apart. At least I'm using it, right? It's not going to waste. It's not just sitting and rotting. It's being used. So after I'm done with this, which is I'm getting close, I'm going to sew it. And I'll sew it off camera, and then I'll show you the finished product, and then we'll end it there. But so far I think this has been a fun thing to use as a snippet roll. I don't know what to label this video yet. Maybe from masterboard to snippet roll. Oh, I guess I need more glue, or I need to take out the glue from here. Well, you know what? I think I'm just gonna, I'll just use this for now since I'm gonna sew over this stuff. And I gotta remind myself, I don't have to fill every spot. Don't have to fill every spot, which is kind of nice because it's already collaged. Everything is already collaged, and it's not a plain piece, it's a collage piece, so that's kind of nice. And then when I, you know, again, I'm repeating myself, when I cut into pieces, I can embellish at that time. But, you know, at least the base is taken care of. I gotta wipe my workspace because it's sticking the snippet roll. There. Okay. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? Again, that's from 1927, 1924, Linens and More. That kind of has a cute little ring to it. 1924, Linens and More. Come get your linens, your vintage lace right now. I don't know if any of you have, for those of you that have grown up in California, there was this, he was like a car dealership, and his name was Cal. Come on over to Cal, and we can beat those prices. He was a crack up. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure Cal is no longer with us these days. That was a long, long time ago. I don't know if that's, I That's better right there. Okay, add paper. I want paper. Ooh. This is why I keep some of the smaller pieces too, because of lately I've just been doing small things, small journals, small anything. So let's put that here. Okay, I'm trying to hurry. Hurrying it up. The way that was backed in something. Okay. Almost there. One more piece of lace. Maybe a different kind of lace. Maybe this. Okay, one more piece right here. One more piece. Let's do I want something grungy? Okay, let's just do that. Okie dokie. We are done collaging. Now I'm going to go sew, and I will be right back. Okay, so that was a bit of a fiasco. I ended up trying to manipulate my sewing machine around, you know, the garland and the paper this wired paper, and ended up breaking a needle. So had to change my needle, my sewing machine needle, and all that good stuff. All the while I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're waiting, I have to hurry up, they're waiting. And then it dawned on me, it's like, wait a second. I'm videotaping and it hasn't even been posted yet. So yeah, I can be such a doofus sometimes. But anyway, this is how this turned out. And I like it. This is a good base of a snippet roll. It's already collage. It's already got a little bit of lace and different papers. And it will be, a lot easier to decorate pages with just by taking a little piece, a snippet. Therefore, that's the name, I guess. I don't know who came up with the idea of a snippet roll, but it's a fantastic idea. This is just a different variation using Masterboard to create your snippet roll. So makes a good base. It's already all collage, and we'll see how it goes. This is a little, I should have, it's a little skinny, huh? Or my snippet roll is skinny for this. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to use Scotch tape. I think that's what my problem was. I didn't anchor it down. Okay, and then go like this. I think it would be better to not put anything too bulky on it anyway, and leave that just for when you implement it into your journal. That way it's easier to roll up into one of these things. Okay, there we go. I actually looked this person up where I got these pins, and it looks like they're back in business, and it's a Peddler's Alley, and they have more of these pins. I love these pins because you can add like a jump ring on there and just have a little charm or something, or a bead hanging from it. So these are really fun. Peddler's Alley. I will link the her shop. They're on Etsy. All right, there you go. Snippet roll. Another snippet roll. I don't know, what is this, snippet roll number 3 or 4 that I have posted. Different variation of snippet rolls. So anyway, everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me today and crafting with me. Yes, keep on keeping on until the next time. Right on. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.